So we got my student Alejandro right now with us in Miami. He went from a DoorDash driver making 2 to 3 thousand a month to now making 5 to 6K per month as an appointment setter living in Guatemala full time in tropical paradise.
Yep.
So he's been in remote sales for about 8 months now. So in this video, we're going to dive deep into his journey, how he's been doing so far, his biggest basically learning lessons, and how he's seen so much success. And we got a surprise for you guys at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. And he's going to drop his biggest key to success. So Alejandro, you want to introduce yourself, brother?
Yeah, so my name is Alejandro. I've been in remote sales for about 8 months now. And like Tanner mentioned, I just started off by doing DoorDash, not even really hitting 3K per month. I was usually hitting 2K months, and it was just hell driving all day in Miami. So in a good market, still wasn't hitting that as much money as I wanted to be hitting, or as much as I know that I could have been making. So I just knew I had to like lock in and focus on a skill and hone in a skill that was going to allow me to especially live remote and like just make more money ultimately.
Yeah, 100%. And now he's just took a week trip to Miami, right? Just to like visit family.
Yeah, just now. So I used to travel out of the country, and now I'm traveling into the country, which is a big change in less than a year. So
Yeah, because like you saying your original goal is to be able to leave the U.S., right?
correct.
Go back to where your family is from.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. Because you're a mom, and then you had a girlfriend in Guatemala.
Yeah. So my mom is in Guatemala. My girlfriend is well. When I was traveling to Guatemala, because I used to travel a lot, I met her there as well. So fell in love. It happens. But yeah, I wanted to find a way where I was able to make income remotely. Because DoorDash was definitely not gonna allow me to be able to travel as often as I wanted to. So
Yeah,
definitely.
because you wanted to get back, start living with your mom, take care of her and your girl, obviously.
Yep.
So that's when you started looking into ways to make money online. And just so that people know, because I'm guessing people that are watching this, like they've tried different ways to make money online. We talked about the analogy where it's like some people, they try one thing and then they just give up on making money
Yep.
online, but that wasn't you. It's kind
No,
of like if you dated a girl,
for
you
sure.
would just, like she broke your heart and then you just never date girls again, you know?
Of course, no, you're never gonna stop looking for the right girl.
Yeah,
It's literally you're always gonna be looking for the right one. So even if the first time you don't find her, something happens, you're never gonna stop. It's the
yeah, yeah.
same way with online income and making money. It's literally the same exact thing.
Yeah, yeah. So you shouldn't let one mistake hold you back from continuing to try again. Because what did you try originally that didn't work?
Dude, I've tried so many different business models. One time I tried to do drop shipping. I made a whole online
I
store,
did too.
and it,
I did 1,000 in sales in dropshipping, bro, but
really,
zero profit, like literally zero.
man, it's just spending all on ads.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Me, not even because I posted some videos and it didn't even gain traction, so I didn't make
Mm.
any money at all. So I really just kind of spent my
Oh, you
time,
tried
didn't
to
work
do
out.
you tried to do organic.
Yeah, I tried to do organic drop shipping, and I tried a few different products. I mean, most notably like the roseberry. I'm not sure if you've
Oh,
seen
bro, I
that.
sold that.
You
That's
saw
what I
that's what
did
you
a
said.
thousand in
Yeah.
sales with. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow. Yeah. That's what I try to do because I just try to hop on a trend because I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
there's literally
yeah.
like seasons. So I mean,
Mhm.
depending on the season, you can sell different products. But point is, it didn't work out for me. I mean, I also tried day trading. So while I was doing DoorDash, I would start in the morning and I would literally bring my laptop into the car and
Oh,
try day trading. So that's another way that I try to make online money. It didn't work out either, um,
and then
not
the
for me at
software
least.
thing, right?
And I also invested into a SaaS course
Yeah,
that also didn't work out. So I definitely tried multiple ways to make online income, and none of them were it.
yeah. And what would you say like is the biggest difference that you see between remote sales versus like drop shipping, day trading? I tried both of those as well. Didn't really succeed too well. Versus like SaaS and then like remote sales, because now obviously you're seeing success with that. You're making like more than like the average income in America while living in Guatemala, which is like
Yep,
way cheaper. Right?
for sure. Yeah. I mean, main difference for me really was not having the skills as a business owner, right? Because the thing with all these business models is you have to go into the business knowing how to run a business, how to do ads, how to
Yeah,
get leads, how to market to the leads correctly, right? Those are all things that a business owner knows just by doing it for so long. But as somebody new in the space trying to break in, not knowing all of these things really kind of hinders your progress and
yeah.
really, it's a big learning curve and a big learning gap.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. And a lot of people, like, if you try to start your own business from scratch, like, absolutely you can be successful. But usually what happens is, like, with us, we tried the drop shipping, what most people do. they feel like it's going to be like super easy, like, oh, I'm going to start my own business, I'm going to start traveling the world,
Yeah.
making money from my laptop, and then they start a whole business, and then it's like way harder than you thought. You have to learn Facebook ads, you have to learn how to run ads, you have to have capital, and then what most people do is they just give up, right? But because you're like, oh wow, this is like way harder than I thought.
Yeah, me.
This is way harder than I thought. But for me, like the reason I did remote sales is like I tried drop shipping and then I just started doing regular jobs again. Like I did drop shipping when I was like 16, like 15, like when I was in high school. Like I wouldn't go out, I would just like grind the drop shipping stores, bro. And then I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm just gonna be a kid for a minute. So I started working at Hooters, worked at like a pizza shop, a factory, and that's all I was like, nah, I can't do this forever, man. Like reality snapped back in. But then I heard about sales, like remote sales, and I knew that sales was always the most valuable skill. So I was like, this makes so much sense. There's all these coaches. They have to have closers. They have to have setters. They obviously just need guys who are like ambitious that can just be coachable, come in, learn, and growing industry. So it just made more sense to me. It didn't sound like this massive scheme where you can become a millionaire overnight, right? It's like way more realistic.
For sure. Yeah, and definitely the best thing about sales is the barrier to entry compared to all these other business models is so much lower and so much easier to break in. Kind of just to add on what you mentioned, right? Really, if you're coachable and you're hungry and you want to lock in and you want to go make some money, hiring managers that's really all the hiring managers look for.
That's all they want, bro. They just want like young guys that just like are down to just lock in and grind. Like if you lock in, you grind and you're coachable, like you can take advice. There's no way you can't get to 5-10K a month in a year, right? Or at least, like it took you, your first 30 days, you made $3,700. And we did an interview. Like if you guys scroll back on my channel, like 7-8 months when we first did it, you will see the interview I did with Alejandro after his first month. He made $3,700.
For sure. Literally made more than almost every other job that I had in my first month of remote sales. As a complete beginner, not really knowing anything about sales. Broke $3,750. And next month I broke $4,000, and after that, literally consistently been making about $4,000 per month.
Yeah. So literally in 30 days, you literally returned the whole money that you spent getting help from me.
Dude,
like pretty much.
Yeah. Literally the first month and a half was already finished with that. I mean, and after that, it's really just been return on investment.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of people out there that think like coaching and like mentorship, it's not worth it. I've invested, I think I told you this, like over like 50,000 into mentorship, learning marketing, sales, like all these different things, mindset, like everything to level up. And obviously you have the same mindset where it's like mentorship has helped you get to where you are, but you took a few L's to get to where you are. So
for sure,
what made you like want to keep, or I guess what makes you feel like mentorship, I guess, is like worthy investment?
Because mentorship, the best thing about mentorship is because, I mean, would you want to learn on yourself through trial and error and like just continuously fail? I mean, it's possible and it's a thing that you can do, but why not just invest in someone that's already where you are and learn from them and just kind of fast track your way to success, right? And the thing is, if you put in the work, there isn't any reason that you'd fail because that person has done exactly what you want to do and he's already exactly where you want to be, which is kind of why I invested into you in the first place, because you were doing what I wanted to do. You were literally living abroad, you're making money online, you were in sales, and that's everything that I wanted to be. So investing into it just fast track the whole progress.
Yeah, and you definitely got to be careful like when you're investing into mentors, because there are like bad apples out there that like claim things they don't. So like you just, when you do invest into a mentor, like what I look for is like, does this person have the results I want, and have they helped other people like get those results, right? Exactly. And yeah, obviously like I've had tons of students like absolutely smash it, and obviously Alejandro, like he's kind of like living proof, and now we're in Miami together. Yeah. In my apartment, because I just moved here, so this is like the view we got going on behind us. It's pretty solid. But yeah, essentially, investing into yourself is going to be the best thing that you would ever do, but you have to do it before you actually see the results, right? Like a lot of people say, what if it doesn't work? They're scared to do it. And so obviously it's easy to say like, oh yeah, you should invest into yourself once you make it, but before that, you still had the balls to do it, you know, before you saw the success.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, and you're definitely going to have the balls to do it before, because I mean, how can you expect to become successful without even investing in yourself first? Yeah. So especially coming into the space, you can't come into the space and not buy any like info as well, because it's kind of the info space, right?
Yeah. So like if you want to be a closer, that means you're going to be selling mentorship programs for other big coaches. So like if you're not even willing to invest into yourself and buy mentorship, how are you going to sell it to other people? Because you don't even believe in it.
No,
It
for
doesn't
sure.
make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it literally makes no sense.
Sales is literally about conviction, right? Just kind
Yeah.
of really believing in what you're doing, and what you're doing is a service to the person that you're trying to sell to. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't even believe that yourself, then it
Yeah,
probably
yeah. If you don't even
yeah,
think mentorships is like something that you would do, how are you going to
yeah,
sell that to someone
exactly,
else? Like people are just going to sense that you're lying.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, so now you're. What did you hit this month in commission?
This month I hit well, I have a base pay as well, but in commissions over 4,500 for sure.
And then what's
So
your base?
my base is 1,500 already.
Okay,
So
okay.
I mean, totally no. It's been 6K, like just
That's a
totally
record month,
everything.
isn't it?
Yeah, this is my best month yet, and
And
I'm
you're
out here in
traveling.
Miami.
And
Literally
you're
just
traveling.
traveling while
Yeah.
having a record month, which is the best thing about remote sales.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
100%, bro.
yeah,
100%. And for you, like you were telling me, because I was like, bro, like why aren't you getting to like 10K a month? Like why aren't you
yeah,
becoming a closer? Because he's been a setter now for a while, so I've been kind of like pushing him um, as like a coach, still in his corner, being like, bro, like you need to start leveling up, getting into closing, so you can
yeah.
start getting to that 10, 20K a month. But like tell everyone like what you do with your time, like when you're in Guatemala. Like you said, like you set appointments for like 2 hours a day, and then you just what do you do?
Yeah, no, I usually set appointments. There's days where I can eat because so the things that these companies will do, they will give you a KPI. They will give you a kind of a certain minimum that you have to do with sets and kind of
Yeah,
how many appointments you have to book in a day, right?
like the
So
standards of what you have to do every day.
correct, yeah.
Yeah,
And the thing about most of these companies, they have so many warm leads that are coming in and so many people that you can call and that are already interested in your product. So sometimes it's so much easier to hit and kind of book all the appointments that you need to do for the day. So after that, after you've done everything you have to do for the day, you can literally just kind of clock out, if you will, and then just kind of do
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
you want.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Because like let's say they have like 10 new leads coming in per day. You hit all those, you set like 3, 4, 5 appointments, and then you don't really have anything else to do, right? And that's what I tell people all the time. It's like what most people do, the system that they're in is they're just trading their time for money, no matter
yeah,
how fast you do it. Like for me, I could like cook the burgers like faster than anyone else when I was a cook at Hooters, but it didn't matter. I was still making the same amount of
yep,
money. But in sales, if you set 5 appointments, it doesn't matter if it takes you 1 hour. You make 5K a month if you work 1 to 3 hours a day,
yep,
versus whether you're just super slow and like you work super slow and it takes you 8 hours, right? So you're like
correct,
incentivized to like get
exactly.
everything done. So you get things done. You said in like 2, 3 hours max, and then you just go out, hang out with your girlfriend, and like
Exactly.
go on adventures or something, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing about sales. It's not you're not being paid based on your time. It's literally so much. It's a higher leverage activity because you're being paid on the skill that you're able to bring a business owner. So if you can
Yeah,
come into a company, make them money, they're gonna compensate you well. Not like at the job where you're doing the same thing as everybody else. Is playing the playing field is even.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you can literally be the laziest worker in a warehouse and you'll still be making as much as the hardest worker in a warehouse,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is what I hated, right?
Because you don't
Because
have any valuable skills. Like if you can
yeah,
be replaced at your job in 2 weeks by some random dude off the street, that's why you make 2K a month. If
exactly.
they can just train someone to do what you do in two
Yeah,
weeks, but it's hard to find somebody that's actually hardworking, that's coachable, that's locked in, which is what you have to be in sales. And obviously, once you have the skill, like for Alejandro, like he's the top setter on his team, um, and like it would be hard for them to find somebody that's as good as him. He's been trained, so it would take them a lot more work. They would lose a lot more money to say like, oh no, we don't want Alejandro anymore, right? So he has a lot of leverage. That's why he can work 2, 3 hours a day because he makes
sure.
them like, how much money do you make them a month
Dude.
in revenue that you
Yeah,
generate for them?
bro. This month I generated over 150 in revenue for that for my
150,000.
company. Yeah.
Exactly,
So this month
exactly.
after my record breaking month, yeah.
And when I'm a closer,
But
like usually I close like 150 to 200,000 plus for coaches. So it's like
yeah,
they can't just fire you because they lose
no,
so
they
much money,
can't.
bro.
Yeah, because if they fire you, they're gonna have to find somebody else with the same amount of skill that you have,
Yeah,
which in this space is kind of really hard to go
yeah,
ahead and do that because everybody that knows sales is already on something that's good.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, man, exactly. So what's kind of the goal for you going forward, man?
Goal for me to going forward is just kind of really locking in with you, kind of transitioning to the next level because there does reach a point where you can, if you don't keep improving yourself and kind of just studying and learning new things, you're gonna reach a plateau and then
Yeah,
you're not gonna be able to constantly improve. So really, next goal for me now is just to kind of become a closer and be able to, like you mentioned, just close deals for another business owner and just
yeah,
generate them so much revenue where they compensate you well as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah,
So
100%. And then obviously like what he's doing now is appointment setting, so that's
yeah,
more entry level. That's what he started with, and then closing, that's where you're actually closing deals. that's where you start getting to like the 10, 20, even 30K a month sometimes as a closer, because you're the one like collecting money, closing deals. But as a setter, like you're just having super easy conversations,
Yeah.
just booking people in. Like,
Yeah.
but for you, when you hit that 3,700 a month, bro, I'm curious, like how, like what did you feel like 3,700? Because you were still in Miami, right? You were living here,
I was
and
in
then
Miami.
you just flew to Guatemala straight away, right?
Yeah, after like a couple of weeks kind of working and kind of seeing, because at first you don't even believe it. Like your mindset is so the mind is like really the craziest thing, because if your
Yeah.
mindset is limited and you have like so many limiting beliefs and you don't think you're capable of doing what you want to do, you're not going to do it.
Mhm.
So you really have to change your mindset in the way that you view everything. So kind of after seeing it for a few weeks and seeing that it actually is real and seeing that it works, it really just shifted my beliefs into like, I know it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work out, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this and really just lock in on my skills.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
And
Really, the first month, it just I knew that it was possible. After that, I knew I could
Yeah,
achieve
yeah.
anything that I really put my mind to.
Yeah, bro. I remember when I hit, like, as a setter, once I landed a really good offer, I made $8,000 in my first month on this really good offer, um, and I had already moved to Thailand because I booked a one-way flight.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I gotta go all in on
Yeah,
this,
me
bro.
too.
I gotta
Yeah.
just like put my back against the wall. So I booked a one-way flight to Thailand to live there one way before I was even making money online. And I had some
Yeah.
money saved up, so I was gonna be fine either way. But I was like, bro, I gotta force myself to make it happen. First 30 days in Thailand, I made $8,000. So like one is changing your environment because it allowed me to lock in. I wasn't around people who were like telling me like, oh, like remote sales, like what are you doing? It's a scam. Like all these people, like your friends, they'll
Yep.
probably tell you all this stuff because they're just too scared to like go out there and take the risk
Of course.
themselves.
Yep.
So they want to bring you down.
Of
So I
course.
got into a new environment, put my back against the wall, forced myself to make it happen. First month I made $8,000 as a setter, and that was like almost 2 years ago now, like a year and a half ago when I did that. And bro, I remember that month, like I knew I'd never go back to a job again.
Yeah, exactly. Me too, man.
Like I knew, like, wow, this is my life now.
Yeah, once you do this and you realize that it's possible, there's no going back from
Yeah.
that. It's really just only going up. And just to kind of add on to the fact what you mentioned, right? People are really limiting factors, and they can definitely hinder you, bro. So like the people that you surround yourself
yeah.
with, you literally become a version of them, right? So if you surround yourself with people, like you always say, you surround yourself with like 4 people that are just kind of beneath you, and they're really just don't believe in anything that you do, and they're just constantly telling you, no, it's real, it's not real, it's a scam.
Yeah.
You're eventually gonna believe it yourself subconsciously as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And you don't want to look stupid to them, right?
of course.
Like
no.
people, like that's like a psychological thing with humans because we're like, we're supposed to be in a pack,
Oh, yeah,
like
of course.
we're designed to be in a pack. So like you wouldn't want to get shunned by like the humans back in the
Of
day.
course.
So we've evolved to like care about other people's opinions. So we wouldn't get like shunned and then die on our own in the
Yeah.
forest. But now it doesn't matter. Like you just gotta blaze your own trail, man. And like
Of course.
everyone told me when I was getting into remote sales, like it's kind of stupid, like it's a pyramid scheme, or I don't know, like I heard everything, man. And now all those people are hitting me up in the DMs on Instagram, like, yo, how do you do it?
Yeah,
Like
no,
all the
it's
people from
crazy.
high school, like
It's
I didn't go to
switch up.
college, but like all the people that went to college, it's just like that's a good feeling, man. But
No, yeah, totally agree. The switch up is crazy because
The
people
switch up is
don't
crazy.
believe on you until you actually go ahead and do it, and then that's
Yeah.
when they want to be you, and that's when they want to
Yeah.
learn from you, and then kind of really just
yeah,
take like
they just want to latch onto the success, but
exactly.
But yeah, like when you believe in yourself first, that's when you're okay with taking the risk because you believe in yourself.
Yep.
That's when you're able to invest in yourself because you believe that you can do it. And then that's where you see the results when other people, like, they don't believe. Like, broke people think everything's a scam, bro.
No, for sure. They can think everything's a scam. Even you go into a retail store
Yeah.
and they see something, they'll still think it's a scam.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Even after seeing so many people do it and so many people buy the same thing, people still would think
And
it's a scam. That's why you can't you can't let your beliefs be molded by other people. You gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta
Yeah.
believe that you can do what you want to do.
You can only achieve what you believe you can truly achieve.
Exactly.
And if you see, like, it's so crazy. Like, we're looking out onto the water right here. There's water over there. I'm looking at $10 million yachts right now, $50 million yachts. You guys think there's people that make $50 million for a yacht and you can't make 10K a month?
Yeah.
Like, how limiting of a belief do you have to have, bro? There's like all the way out here, there's like hundreds of like $30 million mansions on the water on the Venetian Islands in Miami. So you think these people are so much better than you, and you, like, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever they make, to afford like yachts. There's people that make hundreds of billions of dollars, and you can't even
course,
think that you
of
can't
course.
make 10K a month.
Yep.
Like you just think like the reason you think that is because you just don't believe that you truly deserve it.
Exactly. And it's really just a limiting belief because it's not real. Because if you believe that you can achieve it, you will achieve it. Because I mean, the only thing separating people that are making that much and they are millionaires and the people that are not is really just the skills that that person has obtained, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you hone in on the skill and then you actually learn it, you can easily, and you truly believe it as well, because like we mentioned, belief is a strong factor. Then there's no way in hell that you're not going to be able to do it.
100%. And that's why getting around the right people is
Exactly.
really big as well. Like my first month in Miami, like I've been seeing like so much success, so much winning, man. Like I'm going to get tired of winning since being out here in Miami because there's so many people just winning.
Yeah.
And so when you see it every day, you're like, oh wait, it's actually not that hard. Like every single day I go out here, like I see SVJs, Ferraris,
every day,
and I'm like, oh shit. Like there's people that they're not even smarter than me. Like so it's just like getting around the right people, the right environment is huge. And that's actually something I've like crafted inside of Closer Launchpad, like my mentorship, because people get to see you get to see people like Denarius, my other student, he made like 3,400 last week. So like you get to see that as well. Like tons of students, like I could even like screen record it and pull it up right now, just like the last 2 weeks of all the people just absolutely crushing it. And so like if you get in there and you hang around all these people that are already hitting your goals and they're not smarter than you, they didn't start at a better place than you, but they're hitting your goals, you're just like, oh, it is possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like you mentioned, you want to surround yourself with people who are doing the exact same thing that you're doing. Even people who are better and doing better than you are, it just makes you that more hungry, more. It makes you that more hungry to kind of get to where they are and achieve what they are already doing. Which is why like mentor is a big part. Literally fast track your way into success and kind of do what you.
100%. Like I tell people, like if you hang around me, like there's no way you're not making 10K a month.
No, for sure. And even me, I'm so close. I'm right there.
Because like that's the standard like I hold like for the people around me. Like you just got to be making 10K a month. Like that's the minimum. So like when Alejandro told me like when he came here like a week ago and we started hanging out, we went to the beach like on my birthday, South Beach here in Miami. And I was like, bro, so how much money are you making now? He's like 6K probably this month. I'm like, bro, like why aren't you at 10K a month? So like that's just he was probably like, like why am I not at 10K a month?
No, I did have that kind of like, man, like
So that's why mentors are huge because like they know it's possible. Like I see the potential in you to make 10, 20K a month because I've obviously hit that. I know it's like not that crazy. So I'm like, oh, like why aren't you making like 10K a month? Like what's stopping me? And then you're like, oh, bro, like I only work like 3 hours a day and then I like mess around with my girl.
I mean, not always though. Yeah, there is some days where I do 3 hours, but I mean, it's really hard work as well. I mean, it's not only sunshines and rainbow.
Yeah, of course. Like those 3 hours, you're locked in.
Yeah. No,
and like you're getting rejected a little bit. You're setting appointments. You're talking to people. You're like actually focused. And that's the thing. Like that's what you get paid a lot of money for. But I think I asked you this on our first call. What advice would you give someone that's watching this that maybe they've even watched like the first interview with you, maybe they've been watching for a while, or maybe they're completely new to me, Closer Launchpad, like my program. What would you say to them on kind of just advice, man?
Really just take the leap. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing last time, but it stays true and it's going to stay true and hold true. Just take the leap. You can't be afraid of doing what you know that you're capable of doing. Because if you don't take the leap, how will you ever know what's on the other side? Like if you stay the person that you are and you don't like make steps towards becoming the person that you want to be, how will you ever know what that person was going to be capable of doing, right?
You're just going to live in regret, right?
Exactly. You're going to live your life in regret, being the person that you don't want to be, and then not knowing what you could have been. And that's literally my biggest failure. Not achieving what I know I was capable of achieving.
That's your biggest fear, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why we work as hard as we do, because we're scared of just kind of not failing per se, but just not achieving.
Not becoming the person you could have achieved, you could have become, right? Exactly. Like you're kind of like your biggest competitor, right? You should only compare yourself to like who you could be. And you have to think like the best version of yourself, would they be scared of investing into themselves and taking the risk?
Of course not. Yeah.
Of course not.
And the thing about decisions, right? You got to make decisions from the person that you want to be and not the person that you are right now, because the person that you are now is limiting beliefs after limiting beliefs.
If you make decisions like the person you are right now, then what else are you going to, like, you're just going to get the same results. So you have to start making decisions based out of the vision of who you want to be.
Exactly.
Right? And like, go ahead.
No, and eventually if you do that, it's literally inevitable to not become
Yeah.
what you want to become. It's just, you're going to achieve it.
It goes beyond like the physical world. Like if you believe in your mind that you want to be where you want to be, it like starts with your thoughts, and then you start making decisions like that person, and then ultimately once like reality catches up, like you have whatever you want to have, right? I was making decisions like I was making 20,000 a month well before I was making
No, for
20,000
sure.
a month.
No, me
Like
too.
I didn't make decisions like other people that I was around that are still stuck there. I was making decisions like who I wanted to be, and that's just how it works, right? And
Yeah.
also another thing that I tell people is like, what's the bigger risk? Staying exactly where you are right now, or taking a small risk and taking that jump to give yourself a chance to become who you want to become, right? Because at the end of the day, if everything fails, at least you can sleep at night knowing you tried,
Exactly.
right? But if you don't try, then you are internally just gonna feel like
Yeah.
a bitch every night when you go to
Every
sleep.
night. And the thing is, the worst part about it is you're never going to know what you could have been capable of simply
Yeah.
because you didn't take that small step, because
Yeah.
you didn't take that leap.
Yeah.
Which is, like I said, the biggest fear for me, at least personally, just
100%.
not doing and not taking steps towards the person that I know I could have became.
And we're still
So,
babies, bro. Like we're
yeah,
still
no,
brand new
man,
to the game. Like,
literally everything.
like,
Every day looking at this view
yeah.
outside and just seeing people that are doing better than you.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
just, you always want to become better.
and we're
Always.
still trying to like get to that point where like now I'm making the decisions of like who would the version of Tanner that makes $10 million a year, how would he make decisions, you know?
Exactly.
And now you have to think like, what would the version of Alejandro that makes 20K a month, how does he make decisions, right? So like we're not saying this from the point of like, oh, we made it, we're on our like high horse.
Of course
Like this
not.
is how we're still operating. Like we're still
course
trying to
not.
figure it out too.
Yeah.
But this is like what got us to this point, you know?
Of course, and yeah, because learning is just like a continuous thing, and then like
Yeah.
becoming a better version of yourself and self development, it's a continuous thing. If you believe that you've already become the best version of yourself, I mean, your
You're
growth
dead.
is literally hindered. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you
And that's like
you
the fun
can't.
part. Like, I don't even care about money anymore. Like, I have literally everything I could ever want. It's more about like building, creating, giving value to the world, and like seeing what I can accomplish and like obviously help other people accomplish as well.
Yeah,
That's like the fun part, right?
exactly.
Like once you have enough money to where you have it, your bills taken care of, well more. You can buy rent every single month. It doesn't matter. You can spend way more money. You can buy whatever you want at all times. Obviously, aside from like a yacht, but like once you have like all your basic needs
No,
taken
for
care
sure.
of, and like you're still living a really really good life. Like you have a nice apartment, you have a nice car, you have everything you need. You can go out to eat whenever. You have freedom. Like at that point, now it's just like like the journey is actually fun. Like the only way I get fulfillment is by getting better now.
No, for sure. Yeah, the journey is actually fun because you already achieved everything that you initially wanted. But after achieving all of that, you're still always gonna want to continue improving, like you just
Yeah.
mentioned, not staying where you are and just kind of just building something for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, which is definitely a possibility and kind of what we do now. I mean,
Yeah.
just
100%, man,
Yeah.
100%. And now, obviously, like since Alejandro's been my student, he's like one of my most OG students. He was like one of the first people I mentored. Since then, we've gotten amazing results for a lot of people. And now that he's
Yeah,
been a setter
sure.
for a super long time, he's actually like my specialized setter coach now. Starting recently, so he's helping other students inside Closer Launchpad, like reviewing their calls, making sure they're doing a good job, giving them advice, connecting with them, and so now he's basically on my team. He's helping me out while still doing appointment setting, helping out with coaching calls, especially for people who are setters. And obviously, I'm still a coach. I'm still doing like tons of one-to-one calls, but he's just kind of helping me out since he has been doing it 8 months. He's kind of mastered setting.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him to that next level. But if you are interested in like learning from me, getting one-to-one help from me, and also learning a bit from Alejandro, Alejandro is actually going to be speaking to. We're going to open up like 5 to 10 spots on his calendar. So he just has a bit of a chance to talk to you guys that are interested. Definitely go watch his other interview. But if you want to hear about my coaching program, you want to get one-to-one coaching from me, get access to speaking with Alejandro, all the other students that are crushing it as well, get access to job opportunities, learn how to land a remote sales role, and really develop the skill. And you want to hear it from a student himself, not from me. You can go ahead, go in the link description, book a call with Alejandro. If you want to speak with me, you can go to another video, go in the link and schedule a call with me. But Alejandro will walk you through the program, see if it's a good fit, and kind of just tell you more about his journey. And you guys can book that below. You have anything else to say, man?
And not really, man. I mean, if you're looking to make more money and just kind of get out of the situation that you're stuck in now, just book down below. book down below.
Look down below.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you need.
Of course.
But yeah, seriously, guys, like it was a good conversation. Alejandro, you're going to Guatemala, back to Guatemala tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going back tomorrow. So literally
Bro, you
came
got to
here.
start posting on your Instagram.
No, I will. Definitely personal brand is on my to-do list now for sure
Nice.
to start building. But yeah, I'm going back tomorrow, and it's crazy. I still can't believe it that instead of having to travel out of the country, now I'm coming to Miami to travel. I'm gonna visit family just because I live abroad now,
Yeah.
which is the most beautiful part about everything. So
100%, 100%. Well, yeah, if you guys want to hear it from Alejandro, book a call below and make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
peace.